Lee Harvey Oswald is dead of an assassin's bullet himself. And for further details, we take you to Roger Sharp at Dallas Parkland Hospital.
Roger?
Parkland Memorial Hospital in suburban Dallas, Texas, where 54 minutes ago, Lee Harvey Oswald died on the operating table 47 hours after the death in this same hospital of President John Kennedy. He arrived here at the hospital at 11:32 after suffering the gunshot wound at City Hall. He spent 10 minutes in emergency room 2, directly across the hall from emergency room 1, where the president died 2 days ago. He was taken to the operating room at 11:42, about an hour after that. After suffering massive injury to the abdomen and major vessel injury, the bleeding had been controlled, but Oswald suffered a cardiac arrest. In other words, his heart stopped. The team of surgeons, led by Chief Surgeon Dr. Tom Shires, then began massaging the heart, trying to bring Oswald back to life. He lived for 20 to 30 minutes after the cardiac arrest, dying at 1:07 Central Standard Time in the operating room. The team of 4 or 5 surgeons had worked desperately to save his life, although Dr. Shires did admit that there was only faint hope when he arrived here. He gave the cause of death definitely as that of the gunshot wound. The bullet was removed from the back of Oswald. It had entered from the left abdomen, causing damage to several vital organs and lodging against the skin in the rear. It was a .38 caliber bullet, and as you know, it was fired by a pistol. Lee Oswald's brother is still in the hospital in the custody of Secret Service agents. He has refused to make any statement on the death of his brother. The body of Lee Oswald remains on the operating table on the second floor of this hospital. He was given every possible degree of attention here. The team of medical people present included Dr. Malcolm O. Perry, who worked so very desperately over the president on Friday. The hospital provided every service to make life possible for Lee Oswald, but it came to a violent end at 1:07 Central Standard Time. This is Roger Sharp reporting from Parkland Memorial Hospital in Dallas.
The alleged assassinator of Lee Oswald is Jack Ruby. He's an alias Jack Rubenstein who came to Dallas 16 years ago and changed his name. Ruby is no stranger to Dallas police. He has been arrested several times, but mostly on minor violations, dance hall violations, violation of the Texas liquor law. He lived alone in what is described as a rather nice Dallas apartment. He has not been married. He did not drink or smoke, was careful of what he ate, described by friends who knew him best as an extrovert and as very likable man. And now we're going to show you some of the actual film taken as Lee Oswald was brought down in the elevator. The elevator coming down to take him to Dallas County Jail. This occurring just prior to his shooting. This now in the basement, Dallas Police Department. He's coming in to be preceded by several detectives. Oswald wearing a black sweater. Homicide Captain Will Fritz on your extreme right. And there is Oswald being led across, being let out. This is the checking in room where prisoners are checked in when they first come in. Now the shooting has just occurred. Get him out of here, they yelled. Bringing him inside. He was lying on the floor just prior, now back inside the room that he just left, being let out to go to Dallas County Jail.
Again, I caution that this I did not see, but these are the reports. There is
Utter disbelief on the faces of Dallas police officials at this time. Such security had been provided for Oswald, not known before. Now they're rushing him out into an elevator. This is Jack Ruby, the man accused of shooting Oswald. Into an elevator he goes. To be sped up and further interrogated.
We're not sure if that was
still someone else laying on the floor.
Is that Oswald on the floor?
He is shot.
He is shot. Oswald. It is Oswald.
He is shot. It is Oswald. It is Oswald, a policeman reports.
11:24 here in Dallas.
He is still alive at this time, wheeling his body out to an ambulance, badly wounded. This is under the city building in the basement. That's why it is so dark in here. An armored car had been waiting for him to transport him to the jail. And the ambulance finally pulling out. There's a spot where he was shot, the bloodstains on the floor at Dallas City Jail.
The police department in the basement. He was brought back in here after being...
Now, Parkland Hospital waiting for the ambulance to arrive, bringing Oswald. Police car and now the ambulance. Now Oswald being brought out of the ambulance, taken to emergency ward at Parkland Hospital. Same entrance, same door of which President Kennedy was taken just 2 days ago. The confusion. Doctors running down the hall to emergency. Alleged person who assassinated Lee Oswald is alleged to own this bar in Dallas. It is a bar, burlesque house. Police officer.
Armored car to ride with the suspect to the county jail. I knew that they would bring him out. They had cleared the way, and then I heard the shot. I didn't see the gun. I just saw the struggle that ensued. I immediately ran from the armored car down the ramp and tried to help subdue the prisoner that had shot Oswald.
Did the man who shot him struggle hard?
He was struggling, but there was a number of officers that were subduing him.
Now, where was Oswald shot?
In the lower left, I believe it was the lower left abdomen.
Did he fall to the ground immediately?
I didn't see him fall. But he wasn't unconscious by the time I got here. He had appearance of being unconscious.
Did it seem like a grave wound?
I couldn't say.
Did either Oswald or the suspect say anything?
I didn't hear anything.
Now, do I believe that you recognize this man after the capture?
Yes, sir.
Did I understand you to say that if you had seen him before, you would have ejected him?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because the only thing that was supposed to be in the basement here, in this vicinity, were pressmen, the television people, and officers. That was our instructions from the chief, that no one was to be in the basement or around the premises, except pressmen and officers.
Well, now, as Oswald was escorted out, were the policemen to either side of him? Weren't there any in front of him?
Yes.
How did the man get by the policeman in front?
The only thing I know is that someone said he jumped. Now, I didn't look around until I heard the shot and I saw the smoke. And then the struggle was going on.
Thank you very much. Paul Good, ABC, at the Dallas City Prison.
And now this amazing picture, the instant before the shooting, taken in the basement. That's Oswald between two detectives, Jack Ruby on the right with the gun aimed almost at Oswald's heart. On the face, on the right side, you see Oswald grimacing with pain. He has just been shot. He has just been shot, allegedly by Jack Ruby of Dallas. And now Oswald placed in a stretcher in the basement just prior to being taken to Parkland Hospital, where he died at 7 minutes past 1 o'clock. This, again, the accused killer, Jack Ruby, who allegedly shot Lee Oswald.